Welcome to this week's video where I'm going to show you how to reamp with the Headrush MX5. Hey everybody, it's Scott at the Pedal Guy. How you doing? Well, we're all about pedal demos, pedal knowledge, and pedal sales. I love pedals, and so do you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the Headrush MX5 as a reamp device. But before we get to it, if this is your first visit to my channel, take a second, click on that subscribe button down there. Give me a thumbs up. Help my video rank in the YouTube algorithm so I can make more content for you. Well, reamping is not really a new concept. It's been around for a really long time, and this is the second part of a two-part series, by the way. Last week I covered recording, this week I'm covering reamping. And in reamping, what you do is you take a lifeless track, you put it through the processors of an external effects processor like the MX5, and then re-record it onto another track, thus giving you new life to a lifeless track. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this demo. I'm going to take a dry track, reprocess it with the MX5, and then re-record it onto another track using Reaper. You can do this, of course, with any DAW that you'd like, and hopefully you'll get something out of this demo that will give you a whole bunch of new great ideas. Let's get to it. Before we record our tracks, just as a quick reminder, go to the upper right corner, go to those three dots, go to global settings, and make sure that your USB audio is turned on. Make sure that your USB mode is either in live or DAW mode. Now, if you need a refresher course on any of this, go back to the original video first and then proceed forward here. We got our Reaper session up here, and you can see that I've got a nice strong signal coming from the guitar. And this is from outputs 1 and 2 on the MX5 to inputs 1 and 2 on Reaper. So the next track here is going to be a mono track. That's going to be output 3 of the MX5 to input 3 on the Reaper here, and that's going to be the reamp channel. So this is going to be the track that is unprocessed. You want to make sure you also turn off the record monitoring. And at this point now, you can see that we've got a pretty good strong signal on both tracks. So we can just go ahead and just record something in quickly and get on to reamping. So here we go. Now, you want to make sure, of course, that when you're recording the tracks, that you let the notes ring out, especially on the processed track on track 1 and 2, so you don't miss any of those reverb reflections. But if we rewind and then listen back to what has been recorded, here's what we got. And if we solo the unprocessed track, here's what it sounds like by itself. So at this point now, we have our processed track and we have our unprocessed track. And this is where we're going to start reamping at this point. So you can actually take your guitar off and get ready to reamp. Now, before we start reamping, what we need to do first is we need to go back to those global settings. So go to the global settings and change it from live or DAW mode to reamp mode. And now you're ready to proceed on to the next step where we're actually going to reamp this track. We're now back on the main Reaper window here, and you can see that I have minimized the first track and I've also muted it because we don't need to hear it for this demonstration. We're going to be concentrating on the second track, and I'm going to create a third track as well. Now, the second track here, we need to send this to outputs 3 because that's the reamp track on the MX5. So we're going to go to outputs here in Reaper. Now, this is different on every DAW, but essentially each DAW can do this. Just go to audio hardware outputs here, and I'm going to send that to output 3. And I'm also going to turn off master send because I don't need to hear the bone dry track anymore. What I'm now going to do is go ahead and create another track here. And I am going to go ahead and record on this track, and I'm going to set it to input stereo 1 and 2 because I'm using the Luke Blues rig here on the MX5. And now everything is set to go. So if I just start recording back, you're going to see a new waveform that's processed by way of reamp right here on the channel. So here we go. Now, like I said before, you definitely want to make sure that you let those chords ring out so that you don't accidentally cut the tail end of a delay or an echo. But here's the basic idea. So we can go ahead and minimize. We can go ahead and mute this track because we don't need the second track anymore. But we can, and we can also minimize it as well. But I'll go ahead and bring up the original track here. So the original track, and I think I'll even change the order here of the tracks so we can see them together here. So if we go back, here is what we had before. So that is the Blondie rig. And then what I did is I reprocessed it, the dry track with reamping, and we got something that sounds like this. Which in my opinion sounds a lot better, but that's the whole magic of reamping. You can do it as many times as you want. You can create rigs, you can custom rigs that are meant just for reamping. You can do all kinds of different things, but that is basically how you reamp a track. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any MX5 related topics that you'd like me to cover in a future video, just use the comments section and I'll definitely consider it. See you in the next one.
Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, be sure to visit us at thepedalguy.com. But in the meantime, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly videos and tutorials. Thanks for stopping by here at thepedalguy.com, where I love pedals and so do you.